I know it's illegal to question the captain. Even Gary Neville has a cricket podcast now, okay? I get it. We will bow down to the Almighty. If you question the captain, you just don't get it. We are two Australians. Our bias is ugly, and we have been known to go the early crow on this channel. Cricket is a brutal, brutal sport. Everyone has bad days. Everyone has bad days. It's a 5-day test. Things can change. Sometimes, even the great leader can make a mistake. I'm not saying this is a mistake. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business. India are 3 for 359 after being sent in. Pezza, it's a tough day for England.
And I'll tell you what, Shub McGill and his band of youthful brothers, they turned up at Headingley in the morning. They put a stake in the ground and said, "It's our turn, damn it. It's our turn, damn it." We will talk about Stokes, and I'd like to talk about Stokes with trepidation, of course, because if there is criticism of him, it just means you don't get cricket.
Yeah, I get it.
But I also think it's a day to be excited for New India. It's a day to be scared of New India, depending on whether your team's playing or not. Our team's not. But mainly, it is an authoritative day for India. You don't have that many authoritative days in England, like away from home. Not least day one of the first test of a 5-match series. This is the flip side of the Bazball Flatties. And as an Australian, it's nice to watch a game without a live defibrillator in my mouth. So fair fucks to India, and England have a bit of work to do.
Aiden Markram is a very, very good player. He's a very, very good player, okay? Now, he's not nearly as good as Jaiswal, who finishes the day 101 off 159. He's dismissed by an absolute beauty from Stokes. Pezza, a day will come where this guy is the best player in the world, probably across all 3 formats. I know it's boring because there's a 14-year-old in the IPL that did a great thing, Suryavanshi. We're all excited for the new thing. Jaiswal is 22, 23, so he's old and boring. He's old and boring. A day will come where this guy is the best player in the world. He's already in the conversation that we all have around water coolers when we're not talking to women. No one is scoring runs in the top 3 in the world, except for Aiden Markram, of course. Except for this guy. He's scored 702 runs against England 18 months ago in that series over there. He might have been LBW when Cass had him, like he was on 45, but it was a no ball. So, but apart from that, this was a mightily impressive innings from a young guy that is doing things that really no one else is doing in the world except for Aiden Markram in one game.
Yeah, you're just accounting for South Africans turning up on this channel and just ensuring that we're still talking about it, and that's right. Yeah, and I also want to say, a little alarmed and unfamiliar to see just an opening stand of any description. just two blokes who can bat at the top of the order, and like two blokes who play a forward defence. And unbelievable. I can't say I've ever seen it for a long time in Australian cricket, particularly in England. Look, and before we get just Jaiswal's innings is contextualised by decisions at the toss, and I know quite a lot of Yorkshiremen, and I've spent a lot of time there myself. And you look, what you need to understand about Yorkshire, about Headingley, is you look up, not down. Yeah. Right? You look up, not down. Now I know Stokes' data told him that you look down, but I also understand that he fired all of his data boys as well. So I'm not really up to speed with how that decision was made. Also, Tim Southey's their bowling coach. Look into it. Is he a sleeper agent? But I tell you what, Jaiswal loves scoring runs against England. There's a lot of stuff in his backstory about the coach that he grew up with and stuff. Let's have a look into the politics there as well, because he has a real bee in his bonnet about England, and I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Fuck, it's good talking about England and India. Hey, I like both Jaiswal and KL Rahul negotiated that opening hour really well. Like Tim Wigmore pointed out that there was as much seam and swing movement in this deck in the first hour as there've been like throughout English cricket history. In the first 25 overs, the new ball swung more than in 75% of tests in England. So these guys batted well. They slashed at a couple, that happens, but otherwise it was very, very assured. And particularly from Jaiswal, like the straight driving artistry is a thing to behold. And fuck, it's good to watch when your team's not playing. It's really good to watch. He was getting forearm cramps because he's just working them so hard, and we were too, watching it. So it's 5 test centuries at an average of 54.2 already for Yashasvi Jaiswal. And against England, he averages 90.3 from 6 tests. You knew England was in for a tough day when we watched just about the worst review of all time, Josh Tongue hitting him outside leg stump. Basically, like England bowled very, very full. They were looking for wickets. They were punished. It's so easy to say all the time, you got to pitch it up. Well, this is the flip side of pitching it up, getting fucking pumped down the ground all the time.
I think it was a 91-run opening stand for the two, for KL Rahul and Jaiswal. Yeah, I mean, it feels like you hardly see that, only because 3 teams play Test cricket now, outside of the other Test match literally going on at the same time. And it was clinical. It was, a lot of it feels contextualised with some not great bowling, and the guys must have been like, any fucking danger of a stick today, Ben, please. But saying that, it was glorious from Jaiswal. I suppose we should talk about Shubhas. The second thing, Shubhas.
Yeah.
It is a captain's knock from Shubman Gill. It's his 6th Test 100. He might have been run out when he was on 1 if Ollie Pope hit the stumps. Instead, he missed. They ran 5, so that was all good. Ravi said to me over dinner recently, Ravi is a close personal friend, and I said to Ravi, I'm just not sure about Shubman because, look, it's flashy. It's, it's here to fuck. And is it runs? Is it runs for India, or is it here to fuck, Ravi? And Ravi said to me, he leant in and he said to me, what's your name again? And then he also said, he'll be good. He'll be good.
and nothing more needs to be said on that. I thought when you asked that question, it was a very fair question. I think what you actually said was, is he a fuck boy or is he captain? Yeah. Is he captain material? And Ravi said, please leave the Ravi Shastri suite at Lord's. He said, please leave. But not before saying he'll be good.
He'll be good.
Before shooing us away. But sorry, was there more on that? Did I miss something in that conversation?
No. It was 50 or 56. It's his fastest ever Test 50. And it was MRF. It was glorious. It reminds me of a young Kohli, I suppose. It's shirts off. I want to see the abs. I want to see the selfies. Yep. I want to see who he's chopping. I'm interested. Yep. It's a captain's knock, and it was a fucking flatty.
Mate, can you... maybe this is the lesson of 2025. You can be a fuckboy and make a captain's knock. Maybe this is what happens when you grow old. Maybe a lot of the captains that we grew up with as kids, maybe they were fuckboys as well. We just didn't understand it at the time. Did it. Yeah, exactly. Saurav Ganguly, we all know about him. But in all seriousness, what a statement! What a statement from the Prince. As we say, his body makes all of the pleasing aesthetic contortions, the delectable skin, the symmetrical jawline, the abdominal V, the gutters, he likes it down the ground. He likes it through the chest. He wears long sleeves. He has a determined face. It's not enough for me to forgive the black socks that he's wearing, but otherwise it's a perfect package. And nevertheless, he goes, beneath the veneer of physical perfection, there would have been doubts about Shubman Gill and his captaincy. Obviously not from Ravi, who we spoke to. But, this is a guy who, he averages in the mid-30s in Test cricket. You could hardly say he was like an ironclad mainstay of the team. Gambhir says to him, I just want someone to captain who doesn't loathe me, nor I loathe them. And with all of that pressure, Indians through India are watching him like late into a Friday night in India, delivering an unbeaten ton on captaincy debut. It's stirring stuff. He goes, the Indian vibe check after yesterday is very promising. You know this when even Rishabh was batting responsibly. You know, I just get the distinct impression that a couple of the old boys have been swept out the door, and the young guys are like, stake in the ground, it's our turn. Also, it was flat. Probably should have been bowling, but yeah.
Yeah. At the same time, Rishabh did run down the wicket to Stokes' second ball, and that was kind of the highlight of the day for England when Stokes laughed, and we thought, this guy gets it.
He gets it. He's got him where he wants him.
Now, Shubman Gill has had one of the great days of his life, and this is how cooked cricket is that, you know, he's wearing black socks, and it's just not right. It's just, you know, you can be a 10 out of 10 off the field. You can have the DMs literally flooding in. The gutters, you know, pouring down to your dick, just filtering just so, you know, like the world is at your feet. Yep. And you're wearing black socks when you're batting, and I think, well, that's fucking village. You know, you've just scored a Test 100 as a captain, but it's village.
Exactly, and that was something that and I know you don't want to divulge this, but that was something Ravi and we agreed on. You know, like it's a red letter day for Shubman Gill and New India today. Again, unbeaten ton on captaincy debut, Headingley. But a word to the wise, Shubman, from a couple of guys who've been around the block, aka you and I. The black socks will come back to bite you. I'm just saying, like, you don't push it too far. You can be a fuckboy who captains. Yeah.
Okay, Pezza, let's talk about like what seems to be somehow the main thing of the day, even though two guys have scored amazing, you know, faultless hundreds for the most part, right? And let's talk about England. So, you know, Stokes wins a toss. It's an unusually warm day in Leeds. The wicket was, you know, we did the thing yesterday where it was like, here's the pitch 2 days out and it's green. Oh, what does that mean for us? And we all get to react to it on Twitter, and it's like, that's so fascinating. Even though it never is. So, especially to women in bars, you know, it is a tough one to try and meet people that way. But, so there's that. But anyway, Stokes wins the toss, and you know, look, he won't say this because he's not allowed to, but you know, England have had a bad day, and England might still win the game. That is the unbelievable thing about the way this England team plays. They've just had one bad day. It doesn't mean you lose the game, but they are a long way back in the game, especially with Bumrah playing, which we're all very excited to see, I think. So England were winning the Ashes when Markram was batting, and now they're losing the Ashes 5-0. So it's you know, it's one of those ones where you're definitely going to be a better team when you're not playing. But there was barely a chance created. They beat the bat a few times, I suppose. Look, Siddharthan gets strangled on his debut down the leg side from a ball that was, I mean, it was so far down leg. That's tough for him. Jamie Smith's wearing white gloves. I thought that was interesting. And a interesting moment. Apart from that, I thought Tim Southey looked good in England's training kit, and I wasn't quite sure what the colour of the training kit is. It's like a deep pink, you know. But I wasn't. Yeah, so. It's a tough old day for England, I think.
Good read. I think you're right. Like, I think England might score a fair few on this deck as well. And if Stokes is sitting there in the press conference at the end of the game saying, "Guys, you know, you don't get it," then I think everybody's happy. So, and I think it is true to say that, like, the batting is meant to get better at Headingley as the game goes on. So, England batting last. They like when there's more runs to chase, as far as I understand. So they're really actually everything's going to plan. I think what's more concerning, like we're not going to know the context of the deck until both teams bat on it. It's just that, like, England without Wood, Archer, Atkinson, Stuart Broad, Jimmy Anderson, Devon Malcolm, they look a bit toothless. It just looked that the attack looked toothless. This is an attack that, like, where no seamer has played more than 5 Test matches, and Shoaib Bashir was subject to some of the most sensuous artisanal milking that I have seen in a long time. And is like, I think England has such a battery of bowlers. You're meant to say, like, well, they've got 15 other blokes that might play in the next game, so it's just a bullpen for them. But I look at that attack and I'm like, are they twos? Were they made to look like twos? I'm not sure yet. They couldn't build any pressure. Their best bowler by an absolute country mile was Ben Stokes. That was a massive upside for them, watching him, particularly after T, where he got rid of Jaiswal, with just like an 87 mile per hour ball nipping away to a bloke who's on like 100 red, was good. He looked strong. He was trying to do it on his own. He probably did bowl himself an over or two more than he should for his body, but like he bowled really well. And I don't know if it's a catch-22 for England there, because like he actually did trouble the Indian batters, and nobody else could, which kind of puts a spotlight back on them. But he is an upside, Stokes. He was incredible. Yep. But ultimately, India now have three hugely key players with the bat into the series now, in Jaiswal, Gill, and Rishabh, who's 65 red, and like that's an amazing start for India. It is interesting how, because obviously this result is now decided. It is amazing how often, like, how many times we've seen recently, like the away team in a big series win that first test, and then the other team comes back into it. We've seen India win away in India. We saw India win away in Australia first test, crisis, etc. It's a long series. A lot of things can happen, but just looking at that English attack, you're thinking, I really hope Jofra's fit, and I hope he can come back into it, because if they roll out these flat true wickets to support the Bazball batting, you're going to get these ripostes. And I'm not, do England's bowlers, do they have the skills to cash in on their egos? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going, mate, it's day one, and India are just doing it off their cocks at 3.5, 4 and over all day.
It's 4 and a bit and over, yeah. And so Stokes came on in the 16th over, I think it was, which feels early for him and his body. He bowled 13 overs throughout the day, and he was, agreed, he was by far the best bowler. They were trying to pitch it up, right? They were trying to pitch it up. They were trying to get it to swing because there was a lot of movement through the air, but there was a lot of full tosses today for international cricket. And I mean like full tosses as well, not like low Yorkers or whatever. Like it was Bryden Carr's playing his first Test match in England. Like there's some energy there. Like it's bustling. Like you can see it, but fuck me, it looked unders today. I mean, like it just looked unders. But I mean, I suppose it can happen. It can happen. It's just one day, but you're looking at Tim South and you think, hey, can you play, please? Ask TGC, Pezza. I just put the call out to Patreon. Now, if you want to get in your Ask TGC for the remainder of these days, please get into the comments below, and we'll answer your question if you have a funny name, basically. So I will just go through a few statements here, really, on Patreon, Pezza. Omicron needed now, avoid the series. Yes, that's a very good sentiment. Why the fuck did we bowl first? Bangladesh looking strong. Definitely good. India wickets, how take? Josh Tong, max running speed, what is?
Well, I mean, you got to be fair to Josh, it is hard when you're playing on a ground which is entirely practice wickets. Like the whole ground is a practice wicket, so the ball is going much far. Like Josh Tong's actually going at Usain Bolt's pace there. The ball is just flying.
That's right. The grade chemist said, how is Ben Stokes with polio still the best English bowler? That's a very good question. Shout out to Glenn Maxwell there, of course. And I'm a schooner, get me out of here, said, I like this Indian team. Roll the clip. Charlie said, just Wiley good? Question mark.
Just Wiley.
Muzz said, my dick feels funny. Yep, there's certainly a lot of weirdly happy Australians in the last day. But I would say cool your jets for that, because it does feel very much wait till both teams bat on that sort of day. I am looking forward to seeing how... I'm looking forward to more seeing how Boomer goes on any deck, to be honest, in any game that he plays in. But as much as I am looking forward to seeing Brooke and Root go about their business. But they might bat on, I don't know, maybe over the weekend sometime. It's hard to say. So that is a sentiment. It was... It's a rollicking first day. It feels like there's cracks in one side, but it is just one day of Test cricket. And the beauty of this thing is that for the moment, there are 5 days of Test cricket for the moment. And we'll be covering every day of this Test series and also of Australia in the West Indies starting on. That starts on Wednesday, doesn't it? Which is obviously a bit of news coming out in the past 24 hours about Marnus being dropped, etc. So plenty coming out here on TGC. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning right here on The Grey Cricketer. Cheers.